Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ernesto. I own and operate Navigate Property Management Company in North Texas. Been doing this for quite some time, over 10 years of property management experience, over $500 million in real estate transactions, over 2,500 leases executed. The list goes on and on. I'm not saying those things to boast. I'm just saying to learn from my mistakes. Just learn from my mistakes, okay? Today, I'm gonna be diving into some questions that people typically ask about the property management industry that I think is important for me to go over. Now, one thing that I would recommend is obviously going and understanding what people are doing in your particular city, in your particular area, because people do things differently. A lot of these things are philosophy on how to approach doing property management. I'm telling you what we've been doing for over 10 years. We've learned a lot, we've changed a lot, we've improved a lot, we've tossed things out the window, but some things have stuck and have been tried and they are true and we are still rocking with them even to this day. So let's dive in. The first big question, why should I hire a property management company? First and foremost, let me just say, a lot of times when I used to talk to landlords, especially those who own 1-2 rental properties, they always thought by default they needed a property management company. But surprise, I just want to tell you, you do not need a property management company. I also try to encourage landlords to go through the experience and learn what it actually means to manage your own property. Listen, I'm not trying to sell a property management company. Our property management company works for those who need it and want it and understand the value of it, okay? There are people who are just built to manage their own properties, and that's okay. You don't need to get bent out of shape about it. Love it. I love when people want to manage their own properties. As a matter of fact, this is why I put out educational videos so that landlords can manage their own properties, okay? Now, let me answer the question. It just depends on who you are and how you're built, okay? I own a property management company, but I don't like taking calls at 3 a.m. I don't like dealing with a resident who's saying they're going to sue me because they have mold at their property. If you live in states like Texas and Florida, mold is a really big deal. As a matter of fact, we don't even let people say mold in the office. We just, hey, it's not mold, it's mildew. These are the type of things that maybe an inexperienced landlord may not really know about. So you're gonna have to, at some point, choose what you want to exchange, money or time. Those are the only two things that we have. Time is money. Money is time. You really have to think about, okay, what am I trying to do here? What is my exit strategy? Because if your exit strategy is to grow your portfolio, then it's a no-brainer to have a property manager. If your goal is to just try to cash flow as much as possible and you don't mind extending or exerting or going above and beyond to manage your own properties, because listen, most of the time the stuff goes really smooth, but when it hits, right? A flood, a fire, assault at a property, right? How do you handle the civil issues that may be going around with your neighbors? A lot of times residents think we also manage the neighbors around them. If you're in the single family industry is what I'm referring to. Now, if it's small multifamily, then yeah, you have to jump in and get involved. I hope that answers your question. I would do it if I'm trying to scale, if I'm trying to grow, if I'm going to be out of pocket, right? If my company is moving me, for example, we have a ton of landlords who have moved out of the country. Time difference, they can't be available. It's a challenge for them. So it makes sense. Some people just don't want a headache. Some people don't want to deal with people. Some people don't want to try and go haggle with a plumber, right? Some people don't want to call the city. Some people don't want to connect utilities. So listen, to each his own. It's not a big deal. Do what you do. All right. That was the first one. What do property management companies do? The second one is, how do property management fees work? Now, it depends. And you're going to hear it depends a lot. Property management company fees work differently for everyone. The old school, what I say old school mentality is anywhere between 10 to 12%. Again, I'm not seeing that in the marketplace. None of our competitors, unless you're in a specific niche, I'm just not seeing it as much as we used to see it 10, 20 years, 30 years ago, okay? A lot has changed. It is extremely competitive in the marketplace. So you're gonna see a lot of folks who are doing percentages, but are also doing a flat fee, okay? So we're seeing flat fees anywhere between $85 a month per door to $150 per door per month. That's the range that we're seeing. Now, property management fees, those aren't the things that you need to be concerned about as far as expenses. What you need to be thinking about is that leasing fee, that renewal fee, and then how do your property managers handle repairs? Because that's where it's going to be most important. How do you troubleshoot some of these different things? Like we send out a newsletter to our clients to let them know like, hey, this is how we troubleshoot these things. This is how we handle work orders. We're not just assigning people, get out there, fix it, right? We're trying to educate our residents. You got to make sure you're comparing apples to apples when it comes to property management fees. But anyway, that's how it works. Here's the third question. Are property management companies worth it? That's such a tough question because the answer is yes, for what you're trying to do and for having a good property manager. That's the reality. If you have a good property manager, they know what they're doing. They know about fair housing laws. They know about tenant screening. They know how to market the property. They're going above and beyond. They're answering questions. They're following up. Let's say, for example, with leasing, the longer your property sits, the more money you lose. Also, if they're not going through the process of vetting their contractors, a deep clean can run anywhere between $350 and $750, right? It's really about the individual's success. What I would say is it's worth it. Do your due diligence to find the right property manager. Read their reviews. Read the responses to the reviews, right? A lot of times I see folks who have really good reviews and like no responses, also really, really bad and no responses, right? Your range for a good property manager as far as Google reviews is concerned is anywhere between, I would say, the max 4.5 stars, because we're dealing with security deposits. We're dealing with residents. There are only certain things we can do without landlord approval if you're a property manager, right? So you have to keep those things in mind when you're reviewing things. That's why it's important to read it and then ask, hey, I'm looking at this review. I saw your response. Can you tell me more about that situation? Really understand what's going on. The next question is, do property managers provide any added protection? Number one, well, the answer is yes. Here's a couple reasons why. Number one, liability, okay? They protect you from exposure, okay? Because they should know what they can and cannot do, what they can allow and what they cannot allow. They also carry what's called an E&O insurance. It's a specific type of insurance for property managers. Now, in the state of Texas, here in North Texas, or in Texas, you have to be licensed and have a brokerage in order to operate as a property manager. I'm not sure what all the details with all of the states, but that's what we do here. So a lot of times individuals, they want to save money and they just use a random realtor, and unbeknownst to their broker, they don't have the proper insurance in place to protect the person, themselves as a broker, and also the landlord. Okay, so there's a couple of things to think about. Discrimination, right, is the liability. So understanding fair housing laws, that's how they're protecting you. Okay, and then making sure things are done up to code. Okay, we have something called a property code, and we have to make sure we follow the property code. Then you also have local codes, HOA, city, county. Your property manager just needs to be familiar with those things if they are going to protect you. Go onto your city website and make sure that you are familiar as a landlord. The reality is the onus falls on you as an investor, as a landlord. No matter what you do in this world, you don't just start outsourcing stuff and not holding individuals accountable. This is still a business and individuals still need to be held accountable. One more thing about added protections. Some property management companies are going to offer guarantees. For example, for us, we do a leasing guarantee. Contact us if you want the details of our leasing guarantee, or maybe we'll do another video on what our leasing guarantees, what we offer as far as our leasing guarantees are concerned and our other guarantees. You can also go on the website and check it out. There are guarantees. So there is some added protection there for you, protecting you from risk, specifically financial risk. Do property management companies need to be licensed? Yes. Property management companies need to be licensed. Those who manage do third-party management, right? If you work on site at a property management company for a private landlord and you're hired by the landlord, then no, you're good. But if you are doing third-party management, then you need to be licensed. Like I said earlier, state of Texas requires you to be a licensed realtor in order for you to handle rent money, and then other logistics that we're not going to dive into, but also be a brokerage with the proper E&O insurance. Yes. Next question is, do property management companies pay for repairs? Not that I'm aware of. A lot of times we do have individuals who call and say they think we're like a home warranty company as well. So I don't know if there are property management companies out there that have a home warranty arm that goes along with their services and charge you additional for that. We don't have that service in place at Navigate right now, but so no, we don't cover the repairs. We manage them and coordinate them on your behalf and then pay for them on your behalf. But that sounds like a great idea. Maybe we should offer the property management with a home warranty function, management fees, and then you can tack on your home warranty. This is the big question. What questions should I ask a property manager before hiring them? This is the part where I get to insert go ahead and click the link below, sign up, and we're gonna send you a document with over 50 questions to ask when you're looking to hire a property management company. It's amazing. A couple of things is, how do you troubleshoot repairs? What hidden fees do you have? So outside of the most popular fees I'll give you right now are property management fees, leasing fees, and renewal fees, okay? In a nutshell, those are the most popular fees. And again, there are different property management companies that provide different type of services. So you have to make sure you're comparing apples to apples, and you need to make sure you're reading your agreement so that you understand what you're going to be charged for. Screening process for tenants. How do you go through that process? How do you determine if the applicant should be approved, right? So those are some of the questions. Do I get an assigned property manager? Do you have an in-house maintenance team? Okay. Again, like I said, sign up so you can get those questions, and we'll send it over to you. Easy peasy. And the final question is, how do I terminate my relationship with my property manager? I can't even answer that question because I don't know what kind of agreement you have. Most agreements though are going to have a written termination clause. Some of them will charge you a fee to terminate. I haven't read many property management agreements. We try to stay in tune as much as we can. But here's the bottom line. For us specifically, we charge no termination fee. So all you need to do is submit a 30-day notice. Boom. I'm not going to force somebody to continue to work with us. If you don't like us, if you don't think we're doing a good job, then yes, let you out of the contract. I think that makes sense. I think that's fair for both properties. So if that comes at any given time for anyone, just make sure before you sign that agreement, you know exactly what do I need to do to get out of this. And listen, just a personal tip, do that with any contract you sign in your life. How do I get out of this thing? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ernesto. Again, like, subscribe. If you want to learn more about property management and leasing, subscribe to our channel. Sign up for the newsletter, nmcpropertymanagement.com. You'll find a lot of information on there as well. I'm excited about this video. I hope it blesses you guys. I hope you learn, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions through our newsletter and our general email that we get. We'll see you in the next one.